Hello! Sorry, I was just rearranging the cushion. So it is another Friday, and I already apologise for all the balls on the floor. I had just put them all away when a certain little somebody decided to empty them all out. So there we go. What can you do? What can you do? And she also has a very runny nose. But all is well on this wonderful Friday. She is now going to go and play, and I can do the third part of my 3-part series covering all the tenses in English. So today we are going to talk about the future tenses because last week I did the past tenses and the week before was the present. So this is the final part of the 3-part series covering the future tenses. So, just like the present and the past, there is more than one future tense in English, and it depends on the different functions and uses for those tenses for what we want to express in the future. So we're going to be looking at the future simple, the future continuous, and the future perfect. Let's start with the easiest one, which is the future simple. This is also called the will future, as it is simply adding will to the base form of the verb in the positive, or adding won't to the base verb for the negative. So how do we use the will future, the future simple? It is for spontaneous future. Rearranging all the toys now, but there you go, it's keeping her entertained. So it's for the spontaneous future, when we decide in the moment a future action. For example, I can hear the phone is ringing. Bring, 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 bring. I will answer it. Okay, I am deciding now. Instantaneous, spontaneous future. I am deciding now my future action, because even if it is 1 second in the future, it is still the future in English. So I'll answer it, not I answer it. Okay, it's very important we have the little abbreviation, which is the will. So I'll answer it. We also use it for future predictions without evidence. For example, I hope it won't rain for the Queen's Jubilee on the 5th or 6th of June. I now have forgotten the exact date. We also, the third reason for the will future is for promises. So I promise I won't tell anyone what you told me. Requests. Will you help me find a flat? Offers. Right, spontaneous future, future predictions, promises, requests, offers. I'll help you find a flat if you want. And the 6th reason, threats. If you don't do your homework, you'll fail. You will fail. You'll fail. So a lot of students also get confused with will and going to. The main difference is going to is used for future predictions with evidence. Okay, so will was without evidence, and going to is with evidence. So, for example, as I said, I hope, she gets the noisiest toys, I hope it won't rain for the Queen's Jubilee. I have no evidence about that. It's June. Why would it rain? I have no evidence. But on the day, if I see dark clouds normally mean rain. So I would say, I think it's going to rain. Okay, because I have the evidence of the dark clouds. Also, going to is used for a future intention. Darling, can we play with something else? Is that possible? Can you play with your choo-choo train that doesn't make quite so much noise? She never uses that toy, and of course now it's she can't get enough of it, and it's the noisiest thing ever. Come on, have some coffee. Play with your coffee cup. Make Mama some coffee. Yeah, can you make Mama some coffee? Thank you. Yeah, and can we leave the doggy? Yes, we're going to leave the doggy. Can we leave? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, we need the tissue. Anyway, we also, the difference between going to and will is the future prediction, so with evidence and without evidence, and also for intention. So going to, remember, going to is going to be for your future intentions, whereas will was the spontaneous future. You decide now for the future action. Going to is when you decide in the past what your future intentions are. So next Monday, I'm going to meet a friend for lunch. That is my intention, to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. A bit early, but that's what, she's another British girl in France with me, so we decided to do a little British picnic together. So I'm going to meet my friend. Now, this can also get confusing because if you remember in my first video, I talked about the present continuous used for arranged, decided, and organized actions in the future. So, like going to, it's a decision we make in the past for a future action. So it's not spontaneous, it's not instantaneous, but it's all arranged, it's all organized, it's all decided. Not like going to where it's our intention. Okay, so for example, I said on Monday I'm going to meet a friend for lunch to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee. That's my intention. Now, if everything is organized, we know the time, we know the place, she knows, I know, everything is organized, I would change it to be on Monday, I'm meeting my friend in the park for a picnic at 1 o'clock. We both know the time and place, it's 100% organized, so I use the present continuous to describe an action 100% organized in the future. Okay, so I know will, going to, present continuous in the future can get confusing. Now, that's not to be confused with the future continuous, which is the second tense after will. We did a bit of a tangent going into going to and the present continuous because they are very similar, and it is useful to cover it with will so you can see the difference. But the future continuous is again different, but it's similar to the past continuous and the present continuous. So, for example, it's an act. So it's just like the past continuous and the present continuous, it's an action in progress. But this time, because it's the future continuous, it's an action in progress at a future point. So, for example, last week I was talking about the past tenses. Today, I am talking about the future tenses. This time next week, I will be talking about another grammar point. So I said, was talking, past continuous, am talking, present continuous, will be talking, future continuous. So the structure for the positive sentence is subject plus will plus be plus verb ing. In a negative sentence, it's subject plus won't plus will, subject plus won't plus be plus verb ing. As a question, will plus subject plus verb ing. So, as I said, it's an action in progress at a point in the future, often used with time phrases such as this time tomorrow, in 2 weeks, at 5 p.m. So, for example, this time next month, I will be traveling to the Loire Valley. So once you've mastered the above, these future tenses I've talked about, the above future tenses, you have the final future tense, the future perfect. And this, again, like the present perfect, like the past perfect, has two aspects: the future perfect simple and the future perfect continuous. Let's look at the future perfect simple first. Positive sentence, subject plus will plus have plus past participle. Negative sentence, subject plus won't plus have plus past participle. Question, will plus subject plus have plus past participle. So when do we use the future perfect simple? It's for an action completed at a specific time in the future, okay? So we often use it with a time phrase with by, because there's often that deadline aspect to it. So by this time next week, he will have completed the, what are you doing? He will have completed the project. By Monday, she will have mastered her new skill. I'll have finished cooking dinner by the time you're home. Okay, so there's always that point in the future. Yeah, Mama's pointing to the future. There's always that point in the future that is explaining when something is going to be completed in the future. Now, there's the future perfect continuous. Ellie, come on. There's that future perfect continuous. Okay, let's do this. Let's finish this quickly. Future perfect continuous, like the present and past. The emphasis is on how long the action happened before that point in the future. So, for example, in August, I will have been living. Shh, all thoughts. In August, I will have been living. Okay, so that's a future perfect continuous. I will have been living in Paris for 13 years. When we're almost done, darling. When she arrives, she will be exhausted because she will have been traveling for 12 hours. So while Emmy has this little meltdown, I'm going to leave you with that for the future perfect continuous. I hope that these 3 videos have helped and that the tenses are easier to understand. Please check out the other 3 videos so that you understand all 3, and don't hesitate to comment below with any questions. Until next week, I hope you have a fantastic weekend and see you next Friday.